In the meantime, Joe Biden shredding MAGA and Trumpists in a brutal speech on the border bill. Remember, this is the border bill for years now. If you believe Republicans, the day that Joe Biden became president, immigrants came flooding in over the border, welcomed with gift cards and Starbucks lattes and the whole thing. The reality is quite different. The reality is that you are relatively more likely to be sent back under Biden than you were under Trump. The reality is that a higher percentage of those who cross the border illegally are apprehended under Biden than under Trump. And I'm not bragging about this stuff. I don't think we're approaching this issue even remotely sensibly, but we have to start with what the facts are. Doesn't matter to Republicans. We want a border bill. Okay. They come to the table with Democrats. They negotiate. It looks like we have a bill. We're blocking the bill. What? This is the bill you wanted. Trump doesn't like it. MAGA doesn't want to see it happen. And now it's all because it is in service to what is best for Trump. They need the supposed problems at the border in order to say, vote Trump. If they fix it now, well, it got fixed under Biden. Why do we need Trump? It hurts Trump. Trump wants problems to try to be able to solve if and when he becomes president again. So here's Joe Biden making it clear that he knows who the Republicans now serve.
Republicans have to decide. For years, they said they want to secure the border.
Right.
Now they have the strongest border bill this country has ever seen.
True.
We're seeing statements
strong by the standards of the right, to be clear,
about how many oppose the bill now. Look, I understand the former president is desperately trying to stop this bill because he's not interested in solving the border problem. He wants a political issue to run against me on.
Correct.
I've all but said that across the board. No one really denies that I'm aware of. The American people want a solution that puts an end to the empty political rhetoric, which has failed to do anything for so long. We have to get the resources to the border to get the job done. So Republicans have to decide, who do they serve? Donald Trump or the American people? Are they here to solve problems or just weaponize those problems for political purposes?
Second thing. Right.
I know my answer. I serve the American people. I'm here to solve problems.
We know the answer. They, the Republicans, serve MAGA and Trump. They do not actually want to solve problems because if they solve problems, they now lose cudgels with they can beat their voters into submission saying, I will solve these problems, which they obviously will not solve. Joe Biden also talking about what happens if this bill fails.
Folks, we've got to move past this toxic politics. It's time to stop playing games with the world waiting and watching. And by the way, the world is waiting. The world is watching. They are waiting and watching what we're going to do. We can't continue to let petty partisan politics get in the way of our responsibility. We're a great nation. It's not acting like a great nation. So I'm calling on Congress to pass this bill, get it to my desk immediately. But if the bill fails, I want to be absolutely clear about something. The American people are going to know why it failed. I'll be taking this issue to the country. And the voters are going to know that it's not just a moment, just at the moment, we're going to secure the border and fund these other programs.
Now, one of the areas from this speech that I don't know that Joe Biden is right about is, as he starts to allude to there, and we'll look at in one last clip in a moment, Joe Biden is arguing that if the bill fails, the Republican people, the American people, the American voters will know there was an opportunity to solve the problem Republicans identified. For political reasons, Republicans turned it down. They now deserve to be punished in November at the ballot box. I don't know necessarily that that is the way it will go down. Let's listen to what Joe Biden said.
Great nation. So I'm calling on Congress to pass this bill, get it to my desk immediately.
Okay, and I'm actually realizing we saw part of this already. Let's move forward.
And his MAGA Republican friends. It's time for Republicans in the Congress to show a little courage, to show a little spine, to make it clear to the American people that you work for them, not for anyone else. I know who I work for. I work for the American people. I'm almost like this. We have to remember who in God's name we are. We're the United States of America. You've heard me say it many times. There's nothing beyond our capacity if we do it together. We're right on the verge of doing it together. I hope and pray they find reason to reconsider blowing this up. May God bless you all. May God protect our troops. Folks.
All right, so the exact line I was looking for there is something getting mixed up with the clips. But as we heard, the point here is Biden says voters will blame Republicans if this doesn't go down. That would be correct. I hope that that's the case. But one thing we've learned, and I'm so sorry I have to say this, one thing we've learned dating back to 2016, even further, is that when you overstate, I don't know if I want to say the intelligence, but it sort of comes down to intelligence or awareness of the American voter. When you overassume the intelligence of the American voter, you end up disappointed. You end up seeing people like Trump become president of the United States. So let's hope that voters clearly see who is to blame here. We will, I mean, listen, it looks like the bill is not going forward, but maybe that will change. Biden making it clear who he believes is to blame. He happens to be right. Whether the American people will know that and vote on that basis remains to be seen. Let's take a very quick break. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube at youtube.com/The David Pakman Show, and we'll be right back. I have been tracking my genealogy for years, and the service I've always used to put my family tree together is MyHeritage, which is why I asked them to be a sponsor. MyHeritage is the #1 family history service because of how easy they make it to discover your origins and relatives with over 19 billion records. You don't need to know anything about genealogy. Just let MyHeritage do the work. For example, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see their instant discoveries feature here. Lets me add an entire branch of 28 people connected to my great-great-grandfather to my family tree, all with their info and photos. I found all kinds of amazing, unexpected things. We found this incredible photo here of an immigration record from the US-Canada border crossing for a relative born in 1895. I had no idea about this. It is super interesting. I'm showing some more of my discoveries here. It just connects you to your roots, where you come from. It's also given me a lot of quality time with my family, showing them these discoveries. Go to davidpakman.com/myheritage. and you'll get a 14-day free trial and a 50% discount if you continue after that. The link is in the podcast notes.